Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Knitmancy Podcast. I'm your host Valentina, coming at you from Northern Virginia, like always. Alright, I don't have much to show this time around, which, I mean, it happens. I work on like 2 or 3 things at a time, and sometimes 1 or 2 things gets more love than the other, so we're not going to actually see a whole lot, unfortunately, but there has been a lot of progress on one of the 2 things I did work on. I'll also talk about some things that have happened recently, and that will be it for today. Okay, so I only have knitting whips this time. Almost ended up with a finished object, but you know, it happens. Next time we will definitely have a finished object. And so let me present my Find Your Fade by Andrea Mowry, and I'll actually touch on what yarns I have in here now. So, whoop. There's my little guy from last time. That's where I was when I podcasted last. And I'm in the middle of the row, but yeah. That's a lot. So I'm going to run through the yarns that are in it and what I've added so that we're up to date. I'm not going to talk about what's to come. I'm on the next to last color, the penultimate color, if you will. So we have Neighborhood Fiber Company, Studio Sock, and Del Rey. Hedgehog Fibers, Skinny Singles in Bee's Knees. A Natural Cotswold from the Ross Family Farm, I believe it is. I know I mentioned it in my show notes. Natural Cotswold from a sheep named Rory. Then we have Once Upon a Corgi's La Dame Blanche, which is actually my favorite section in this whole thing. Dancing Leaf Farm Sock Hop in French Garden Party. And then this is where I am in the lace of Cascade Heritage Silk Paints in the Forest colorway. So it's grown significantly. I actually, at one point, and I'll show it because, let's be real, it happens to the best of us. In my color change section, I have used the sock hop for another project. It was a pair of quilted lattice mitts, which I've knit before, funny enough, in the forest colorway that I'm using as well. And I was like, oh, they don't take a whole lot of yarn. I have like most of the skein left. So I was working on it. And then I ran out there in the color change section. So we have it knotted in because I had to rip out that pair of quilted lattice knits for this. Overall, it's been a journey. It's been a good journey. I love it. I feel like I knit really quickly. I'm not sure if it's because I just love this project so much or because I love the yarns in it, which is weird because I've been feeling really meh about the French Garden Party because I'm not big on pink, and it does have a bit of pink in it. So I'll set that off to the side and I'll show you the other thing, and then we'll get into the fun stuff. So as usual, in my lovely underground chic bag, I have my socks. My socks are always a traveling project. They go with me everywhere. Boop, boop. And these are the Fine and Dandy. And since last week, gone to 2 movies. This week, gone to 2 movies, so I got to work on them. To the movies, at the movies, and back, and yes, I do knit in movie theaters. So, I didn't touch on this last time, but I am knitting it in only a single color, which is the R2 colorway by Nerd Girl Yarns on their O Snap base, which is lovely BFL. And I have messed it up a little bit. If anyone has knit the pattern, you'll probably notice that some of the flowers are a little close. So as in the movies, I wasn't sure how many stitches were supposed to be in between each sock. Oops, or each flower. Oops. Oh well. we move on with life, we accept it, and we go along with it. Okay, so we'll touch on some things, and I realized at the very beginning I forgot to mention where you can find me, so I'll say that, then we'll move on to what's happened in the past week. So you can find me on Ravelry as Knittermancer, which is very similar to the name of this podcast, just slightly changed. Or you can find me on the Instagrams as Middle of the Madness. Okay, there we go. Got that out of the way. Okay, so this past week a couple of things have happened. I've gotten some new furniture in my room, which means that my lovely boy here, Finnegan, who doesn't have his bobbin currently and is just a little bit of a mess, is moved over here until I find him a new home. But I have a new TV stand, which I got from IKEA, and I also got a shelf unit, which is technically supposed to be for the bathroom, which is great. It fits my books. I have a whole shelf dedicated to all my like knitting crafty books, although it's mostly knitting books, as well as Spinner's Book of Fleece and Fleece and Fiber Source book, and a cross stitch book, Subversive Cross Stitch. I think that's on there, probably. But it means that things have been moved around, fixed. You know, my room is neater looking than it was. That's a thing. Now, as I said, we've gone to 2 movies. Saw Baywatch with Rock and Zac Efron. It's a good movie. It's funny. Too many male anatomy pieces for me to really say a whole lot about that. And actually just got back from seeing Wonder Woman, which was great. It's a great movie. And through that, through those 2 movies, I managed to add on 3 rows of flowers on my Fine and Dandies. I don't think I really have, I missed this big one. So when we went and got the IKEA stuff that I now have in my room, that changes things up and makes it a little bit neater. I got my stitches out of my hand. So here's my zombie hand, and I had stitches right up in here. They're all gone now, and some of the glue is coming off. Makes me feel a little bit better about my fall. And I think the final thing I'll mention is I've already mentioned I've got my wall of goodies back behind me. I also have 2 Star Wars prints that for the longest time were just sitting over by my yarn stuff. Even though they're in frames, and I'm like, I want to hang these. Originally I was going to hang them over by my yarn stuff, but now they're up over by my TV, which of course it's off to that section. And it's a picture of Leia and a picture of Chirrut from Rogue One. So I think that's about it. As I said, this was not going to be all that long. Just quick. Hi! See, I do a thing every week. All right. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Well, I hope that you will be around next time to watch. There we go. And that will be all. See you.